The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyeama, has dismissed reports that Nigerians with valid visas and travel documents were denied entry into the United States. The Special Assistant to President Buhari on Foreign Affairs and Diaspora, Mrs. Abike Dabri Erewa, had issued a statement saying that there were complaints by Nigerians with valid multiple entry U.S. visas being sent back to Nigeria at U.S. airports. But Mr. Onyeama said the U.S. ambassador to Nigeria and other top officials had denied reports that Nigerians would be affected by Mr. Trump's travel ban.
The current trending news about the United States of America, that Nigerians should be wary of going to the U.S., that the U.S. might have taken measures to stop Nigerians coming in. This is not the case. And I repeat, this is not the case. If the government is speaking on international relations, you will hear it from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you will hear it from the presidency. Any other source is not speaking for the government and is not definitive. And I've said that in the past, and I repeat it again. The Nigerian government, the U.S. government has been reaching out to Nigeria. The president of the U.S. Took the trouble to call our president and to offer the hand of cooperation, see how he was doing, and to congratulate him on the excellent work he's been doing. And our cooperation with them is exemplary. Nigeria is on no list. Nigerians are on no list banned by the U.S. government, and it really is business as usual, and very good business it is with the U.S. government. So anything else you hear in respect of the U.S. is incorrect, and anybody who has the documents, required documents to go to the U.S. or to go to any other country, should please proceed to do so.
Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Geoffrey Onyeama. And just hours to the closure of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, contractors are still battling to complete renovation work at the new terminal building of the Kaduna airport. This comes as security is said to have been stepped up around the airport, the Abuja-Kaduna highway and the metropolis. Our correspondent who visited the Kaduna airport said that workers were seen completing installation of electrical fittings inside the arrival and departure halls, as well as the VIP lounge and runway.
We were instructed that we should expedite to make sure that we meet the deadline. You know, it's not just handing over. Of course, we will take over, start operation, and he has a defect liability time, which is for 6 months. So we'll be operating the building with his staff, especially the new installations. He will be there on ground to make sure that we fulfill the conditions of contract, which allows for 6-month defect liability period. We have a control tower in place. We are using the temporary fire tower. You know, the fire watch tower is also good enough for the controllers to use. It's equipped, so for now we are using that. But we have put in place a process to complete this tower. We are waiting for the cabin, so as soon as the cabin arrives, we can continue. You can see that the structure is ready. It's just for us to put the cabin on top of it.
Let's cross over to Abuja now. Here's Ibrahim Adra. Hey, Ibrahim.
Many thanks indeed, Amarachi. Now, the ECOWAS court sitting in Abuja has dismissed the application filed by the federal government seeking to squash a suit filed by the self-acclaimed leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu. Mr. Kanu is seeking unconditional release and payment of $800 million as damages. The federal government in its application had asked the court to dismiss the case because it is a subject matter before the Federal High Court and the appeal court. As such, it constitutes an abuse of court process. However, the presiding judge, Justice Michael Wright Williams, in his ruling, dismissed the application for lack of merit, saying the ECOWAS court has the jurisdiction to hear cases of infringement on human rights.
In the suit, we are claiming the sum of $800 million on account of the gross violation of his fundamental rights, and also seeking for the regional court intervention, ECOWAS Court, Community Court of Justice, to direct that he should be released unconditionally in line with the previous order made by the domestic courts. Then the federal government filed an objection challenging the competence of our suit. That objection was heard at the last agenda date, and ruling was just delivered this morning. And the court dismissed the objection filed by the federal government in its entirety, and also for lacking the merit. The suit has just been adjourned to the 7th of April for hearing of our substantive suit, having dismissed the objection to our suit.
Meanwhile, the trial of a former governor of Abia State, Governor Dr. Orji Kalu, began today at the Federal High Court, sitting in Lagos, with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, calling its first prosecution witness. Attempts by the prosecuting counsel to tender a document through a witness, one Onova Ogonevwa, was, however, rebuffed by the defense team, causing the court to adjourn till tomorrow, Wednesday, March the 8th, for a ruling on the admissibility of the document. Our judiciary correspondent Shola Shoele has that report.
Dr. Orji Kalu, One Udeogu and Slok Nigeria Limited were arraigned before the court in October 2016 on a 34-count charge of alleged 3.2 billion naira fraud. They pleaded not guilty to the charges. In proof of its case, the EFCC called its first prosecution witness, one Onova Ogenevo, a bank official. The defense team quickly objected to the calling of the witness on the basis that his statement was not part of the proof of evidence given to the team by the prosecution, and to allow him to testify would amount to an ambush. These formed the basis for an adjournment from Monday the 6th of March to Tuesday the 7th. At the resumed hearing of the case, Justice Mohammed Idris ruled on the eligibility of the witness to testify. The court agreed with the EFCC that the witness, having been subpoenaed, should be allowed to testify in the matter, irrespective of whether his statement was available or not. The proceedings got off to a start and soon ran into another hitch. Attempts by the prosecution to tender a document from the defunct Money Bank PLC in response to an inquiry from the EFCC in respect of 27 bank drafts issued by the bank was rejected by the defendants. The defendants had objections to the admissibility of the documents, insisting that its certification by the EFCC was erroneous.
We objected to this, that it is not legally tenable that in law, a person who neither made a document nor is in custody of the document will not suddenly come and be the certifier of the document.
Though the defense team has asked the court to reject the documents, the EFCC insists that the certification is in substantial compliance with Section 104 of the Evidence Act.
That the letter that was written to EFCC cannot be certified by EFCC. If EFCC cannot certify it, who else will certify it?
Justice Idris has fixed ruling on the contentious issue till the 8th of March. Shola Shoele, Channels Television News.
And away from the courts, Women in Management, Business and Public Service, WIMBIZ, an NGO promoting entrepreneurship and development of women, has held its 2017 lecture tagged Taking Bold Steps in the Face of Uncertainty. The guest speaker, Mo Abudu, who shared her tips to success, asked women to take opportunities which are in seemingly challenging situations in the world today. Our correspondent, Annie Thompson, reports.
Thank you very much.
Discussing bold steps in the face of uncertainty is the focus as women who are active in the marketplace gather for the 2017 annual lecture of Women in Management, Business and Public Service, WIMBIZ.
I want to know, what is your system? How do you do it? How exactly do you do it?
The lecture, which began in 2004, which is 2 years after the NGO was formed, is known to tackle issues which are topical, national and global and are affecting women. The current topic follows this trend.
The difficult and uncertain economic terrain of the last few years in Nigeria, even in the face of remarkable local opportunities, it calls for a similar audacity as we look forward to a recovery this year. I think you would agree that we need some new insights.
These insights is what the guest speaker, Mo Abudu, has come to share.
At times like this, it's important not to panic. It's important to stay calm. It's the time to really be as creative as we can, be as innovative as we can, and to think out of the box. We need to look within, but I think it's also important for us to look outside, even in that Brexit, even in that Trumpism country, USA. There are opportunities there. And if we can legally enter those countries to seek those opportunities, we must find ways to do so.
And the participants are impressed with the knowledge shared.
It was incredibly inspiring. I really enjoyed the lecture. I think there were lots of things that came out for me, including the need to make noise and develop your brand, the need to feel the fear but do it anyway.
As a government worker, I still operate within the same system, within this society. There's nothing like networking. It's an opportunity to network.
Even experienced business women deemed the event worth their while.
When you gather, there's a lot of sharing. First, there's affirmation of knowledge, There's something new, one thing or the other that you pick up. Two, there are younger people, older people, middle-aged people. You all influence each other.
With all the experience shared and networking, the Executive Council of WIMBIZ encouraged women to take bold steps and make their dreams reality. In Thompson reporting for Channels Television News.
The Senate has asked the Nigerian Customs to stop its proposed clampdown on motorists in the country, which it says have failed to pay custom duties. Now we cross right back to Lagos, where Ijoma is standing by for the rest of the story. Ijoma, it's over to you.
All right, thanks, Ibrahim. You got it right this time. I think you saw Marachi in my eyes, but then again, it is Ijoma. Good one for getting it right this time. All right, when the news at 10 returns, stakeholders in Nigeria's capital market propose a trust fund to manage unclaimed dividends. That's on Business. The series.